we have the oldest saying in the book with journalists is that you were taking someone out of context when you misquoted them, but you didn't misquote them, but you took them out of context. Well, what was the context was that you were supposed to make them look like the best things in sliced bread in their view. Usually it's just they don't understand that they really did say that. It really wasn't context, and they really are an ass. but they don't like to face up to that fact. So numbers are the same way. And sometimes people take it as task because you may have taken some numbers out of context. They may not say that, but that's essentially what they mean. And so my goal also today is to make sure that you handle numbers with more care. As much as I know that you do care, and as reporters we all strive for accuracy, sometimes we fall short through just human condition. Yes.
Have you ever made a mistake doing numbers while doing like a report, or when you got published, but the mistake was a number?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. If you've been reporting for more than 2 days, in my case, all along the way, and I'll try to think of some examples as we go. I should have some of those at the top of my head. For some reason I've repressed them, but here's one non-numerical mistake. I talked to a high school student, and his name was Dustin something. I can't remember the last name. I don't know why in a second. And when it came time to write the story, I must have been thinking about Rain Man, because I said Dustin Hoffman. And so my editor came up to me the next day and said, hey man, he was 17 years old, his parents called him really upset because you talked to him without their permission, but they figured, they saw they changed the last name to kind of protect the identity. I go, Mike, I screwed up the last name. So it was like a double mistake there. But so they weren't as upset because I somehow protected them. And I said, no, I don't change people's last names. That's not the way we do it in journalism. And I didn't think 17 was too young to talk to me. I thought maybe 12, 13, 14, that's where, we need to make sure a parent, this is a 17-year-old kid talking about another high school student involved in an issue. So, in any event, so more numerical mistakes later. And if any of you hear some war stories that you want to share about misnaming Academy Award winners, or numbers more relevantly, please let me know. So, does anything come to mind for you?
Yeah, it's just like, did you feel guilty? Did you feel like, oh man, is my work publishable?
Well, to me, it's all about learning from your mistakes along the way. And so to not be so hard on yourself. As long as you made an earnest effort, it wasn't a willful mistake, it wasn't, sometimes it's because the source that we got it from was flawed, and we just didn't sniff that out. And that's another thing, is to be able to ferret out people that just don't know what they're talking about. And therefore, because so often corrections and clarifications are because we put too much weight and too much trust in someone that didn't know. And maybe they didn't know because they had a source that was bad, and you trace it back. And so it's always the